Hello and welcome to episode 51 of the What If South is Up podcast, where we dive into the arts of world building and storytelling with a what if lens. Together, we explore, dissect, and expand the speculative and fantasy worlds of our own making. Blending a bit of wisdom and a dash of whimsy, we aim to spark creativity for ourselves and for you. Get ready to reimagine and dig deeper as we journey from what if to what's possible. In other words, how to wing it like an author. I am Derek Hall, creator of the world of Ketra and a great many other things as I find myself branching out lately. I've been trying to juggle multiple projects and keep the tism from making me hyper-focus on one thing. But the juggling makes it difficult to keep all the worlds and timelines separate, so I've been building world Bibles for multiple projects. And Christina, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm Christina Xtina Lefebvre, and I've pretty much built my first world called Cobb, a magical parallel Earth where colonization never happened in the Americas. Um, and I'm an aspiring author, totally yet unpublished. My current real life challenge going on right now is figuring out how to get my friggin' world onto the friggin' page. I think I said that last time.
You did.
I
That's
did.
okay.
So
It's still a challenge.
it's still a challenge.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
Mm. Yep. What about you? Your real world troubles. Yes. To kick things off, and before we see what if question Chance brings up, let's do a potion or maybe an elixir check. So, Mr. Derek, what are you drinking today?
Well, I have a potion that I have dubbed the Blackberry Death. It's
Yeah.
bourbon and blackberry Dr. Pepper. Much good. Nice, tasty. Mm-hmm.
Nice, tasty. Well, what's
I
going on in your real world?
may have had a few of them. My real world is a nightmare. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, life goes on. Lots of drama this week. So,
Mm.
trying to figure all that out.
Figured how to reduce the drama or deal with the drama.
Both. Monday was a shit show, and Tuesday was a shit show, and my truck blew up on the side of the road, and it was 20 below outside, and I still haven't had a chance to look at it because it's still below zero. And yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yuck. Yuck.
Yeah, it's been rough, but I've been getting a lot of writing done lately, so that's helpful and
Well, good for
useful.
you.
Hopefully, released another book last week, I think, and we're just chugging along.
Well, you're just into the groove now, aren't you? Well, I'm drinking what Uncle Click likes to call a Northern Lights martini. Or as
Ooh,
he would say, click, 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 tuck. I don't know how he'd say it, but that's basically how he talks.
okay then. What is he, a
Clicks and
cricket?
ticks. No, he is not a cricket. He just talks and clicks and ticks and hand signals. Anyways,
Hmm,
um,
interesting.
what's going on in my real life is I'm trying to find a way to divert me out of this no writing track that I've been on for since almost a year now. I don't think I've written a word in forever. I'd have to go back through and see. But my friend has asked me to host a local writers group. Well, to restart one that kind of petered out last fall. We're changing things up a bit, hoping this will entice some writers to come out for it. And I'm hoping this really gets me, revved up and going. Part of it will be silent writing, just writing together, and then part of it will be accountability and critique. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. And there's always that secret back burner project to work on.
I
Now, with elixirs in hand, let's talk worldsmithing. What breakthroughs, techniques, or tips have sparked new life into your world building, story, or lore recently? Xtina, what do you have today for Worldsmith's Workshop?
well, um, I'm working on a wiki of all the things. So I've got papers and documents everywhere. Of course, I use Scrivener,
Mm-hmm.
but as I'm clearing out rooms, because I'm hoping to move this spring or summer, so I'm going through old boxes, I'm going through desks, I'm going through just cleaning out the rooms. I have notes stuffed everywhere.
It's amazing the junk we accumulate as writers.
Oh my gosh, and this is just about my world and this story, and that's
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. And it's just getting overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's also really sad because I'm reading these notes, I'm going, "Why did I let this go?" Or, "Why haven't I said this yet?" Um, so now I'm trying to gather this all together and put it down in a way that I can make sense of it, but also, you know, make sense of it, narrow down what absolutely I want included or must be included in my world and my story. And then, really trying to let go of stuff that is not that important. Sad face.
Yeah, it's tricky.
And so as far as world building goes, is we got all these great ideas, and we have, our creative brains just keep going. And the less I write, the more I think about the world. So my world is bloating, but my story hasn't. So as far as world building tips, tricks, or tech breakthroughs, whatever, I just know that I have to get this all wikied.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing something kind of similar, but on a very different scale.
Hmm.
I have a new to me technique that somebody in a Facebook group, I think, recommended or suggested. But for the people who don't know, I am not a planner. I do not outline except under extreme duress, and I hope that I never have to. But sometimes you need a reference sheet. All my D&D players, DMs, you guys know the value of a good character sheet, and I'm working out something similar but for my worlds.
Hmm.
So right now I'm trying to keep it as concise as possible. It's about 2 pages, but I'm putting together a template that lets me fill in the blanks for each different project with setting, topography, geography, political landscape, and then a section for POV characters, secondary and tertiary characters with a bio and like physical description and that sort of thing. It's working out really well so far. I can see it as potentially being useful for other people too, so I might try to find a way to alpha or beta test it with some other writers and see if they like it
Well,
too and what needs changed and that sort of thing. But
I have another friend, and you know of this friend, who is working on a website to do this,
mm-hmm.
and he would love for you to beta test it, I'm sure.
No,
But
maybe.
it
Now,
has all that in there.
I'm I'm leaning back into physical media pretty hard. So I want
Yeah.
something on paper, either that I can fill out by hand or fill out in print,
Hmm.
and then stick in a notebook with my research and other notes and things like that. Um, Something to have at the front to keep me on task, and then have all the other crap behind it with, maps and reference images and artwork and whatever else.
So remember when I was talking about how I have the paint chips in a booklet kind of thing
Hmm.
for my outline? And I got to tell you, I love it. It is really nice to have, like you said, this physical thing, this thing I can touch and I can change pages, go back and forth.
Yeah.
What I don't have is place for notes for such things as, you know, things in this setting that I want to include, or, you know, what I'll sometimes be going through and doing this outline, and suddenly I have a quote in my head that I want for this section, and I have nowhere to write down these little chips.
Yeah.
So, and they're not little chips. I mean, honestly, they're
Hmm.
what 3 inches by 8 inches, whatever. So they're
Yeah.
not little, but
Almost index cards, but a little bit bigger.
yeah,
Yeah. So I'll pull together a version of this that I'm kind of happy with and send it to you because it might be useful.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I can add to my piles of
Yes.
papers.
Absolutely.
Ay, ay, ay. It's so overwhelming. All right. As worlds as world builders, it's essential to keep our creative skills sharp by exploring other realms and stories. Since our last episode, Derek, which world have you been visiting and through which portal did you enter it? And most importantly, what did you take away from it?
Well, I've been visiting a couple of different places, but very similar places. A few days ago, I was very much awake, late at night when I shouldn't have been and watched the 2017 version of the Magnificent Seven
Mm.
with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt and all of that crew. I can't remember everybody's name, but it was really good. I was
Was it?
surprised. Usually remakes aren't amazing, especially with westerns, but I was in a western kind of mood and I hadn't seen that one yet, so I gave it a shot and I enjoyed it. I like what they did with it. Um, but yeah, so I watched that and I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is also an outlaw cowboy game. But the way they did it when they made it was very interesting. All of the main characters are motion captured. So they had actors actually come in and do all of this stuff. So it's not just voice acting with choppy animation over the top of it. It's their faces, their expressions, their eye movements. And they did a fantastic job. The writing and the storytelling and everything is 10 out of 10, top notch, wonderful. Um, and it's not just a really good game, it's almost like playing a movie. So it's given me some ideas as far as storytelling and how to approach things
Yep.
that can extend well beyond we're robbing a bank, boys, like um just different ways of looking at a scene that I wouldn't have thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful thing. But anyways, what about you?
Um, so as far as diving into other worlds, how about the DC universe? So I finally saw the 2012 Superman movie, The Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
I gotta say, it was great. I loved it. Um, but what I really loved about it, I mean, really loved, is how they started out with his first enemy being other aliens, as opposed like the human Lex Luthor, right? The
Mhm.
Earthling Lex Luthor. I just, I so from a story point of view, from a point of world, building, story building point of view, it just really drilled home that Superman is an alien. He's not a human, and he knows he's an outsider, and he doesn't spend much of his time trying to fit in. I don't know. It was just really an interesting perspective, to see him not try to be human as much as um, other takes on it,
Yeah.
on the Superman story. Um, but I don't know. It just made it so much interesting going forward in that, going forward if I watch the other movies in that world, um,
Mhm.
that he knows he's an alien. Everyone knows he's an alien from day one. The first time he puts on his cape and the world sees him, everyone knows he's an alien,
Mhm.
right? There's no question about it.
It's definitely a different take on it.
Yeah. Um, that was fantastic. I also was watching Dark Winds, the TV show.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Um, so I can't remember his name. It stars Zahn McClarnon. He's the one guy that starred in Reservation Dogs, at the cop.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, he plays a reservation cop in this one in 1972. It's not a comedy. It's a drama. It's a procedural drama, sort of.
Mhm.
Um, and I just love how the story is being told from their point of view, and you're really in this world, this 1972 reservation world.
Hmm.
um, and the a mainstream world sneaks in, and
Mhm.
I don't know, it just really dived you deep into that world, and I
Sounds interesting.
appreciate that. It was very interesting. It
Yeah.
was very interesting. Yeah, two
Yeah.
seasons.
Have you watched Longmire?
I have not, and I don't know that I want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
I really
should
enjoyed
I?
it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take on the trying to figure out how to word this. The the way that cultures can bleed into each other
Mm-hmm.
because Longmire is a sheriff in Wyoming, but his jurisdiction borders up on a reservation, and a lot of things kind of bleed across that border, but
Yeah.
he can't really do anything about it. And things bleed from the reservation into his jurisdiction, and the res cops can't really do anything about it. And it's just it's an interesting way of honestly it's an interesting portrait of how it really is because I live in areas where there are reservations and things like that, and it's definitely a different world in a way. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was really good, and I enjoyed the realism of that interaction in particular.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
I might reconsider it.
If you're against it, that's fine. I enjoyed it.
I'm not against it. It's just so many choices, so little
I
time.
know. It's really good though.
Okay.
Now it is time for Worldsmith Darlings. Each of us will share a few words that paint a vivid picture of another world. It could be a passage from another author that we admire, or perhaps one that missed the mark, or something we wrote. These might be snippets we're proud of, or dead darlings that didn't make the final cut. Are you ready to dive into some world building wins and woes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I am actually going to read a bit from this is from Man of Steel. This is the script. This is script. Okay.
Okay.
And where is it? There it is. Um, so the father Leon, what's on your mind? Clark Kent. I don't know where to start. Wherever you want. That ship that appeared last night, I'm the one they're looking for. Do you know why they want you? No. But this General Zod, even if I surrender, there's no guarantee he'll keep his word. But if there's a chance I can save Earth by turning myself in, shouldn't I? What does your gut tell you? Zod can't be trusted. The problem is, I'm not sure the people of Earth can be either. That just, I just loved that.
That's a very valid take.
Yes, yes. I mean, it just really pointed out that he is the outsider, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
as
for
much as he
sure.
loves these people on this planet, he doesn't know if he can trust them.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
But so that tells you a lot about the world just in these little,
Yeah,
again, these little
absolutely.
sentences. Yeah. So loved it. What about you? What you got?
I'll have to go back and watch that again. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah, it was really
It's
good.
been a long time. I
Yeah.
love Henry Cavill, so so I have something from an as of yet undetermined side project that I don't know what I'm going to do with, but it's pretty well done. It might need an edit. We'll see. Um, but snow made the winters easier. It muffled sound, masked scents, and camouflaged campsites. It made game easier to track and blood trails easier to follow. Not to mention that it made packing the game he did manage to get back to camp almost easy. But there was no snow beyond the small drifts that remained on the northern slopes and in the shadows of trees. Not yet.
Ooh, cold.
Well, I've been living in the 20 to 30 below range for the last week, so yeah.
You know what? We only get that
Cold.
at night, in the middle of the night, but it has been too cold. I
The
mean,
high temperature today was 2 degrees.
yeah, that's too cold. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, no, I can't even go out for a
But the
walk in
high
the rain.
tomorrow is like 28. It's
I
going to
can't
feel
even
like a
go out.
freaking heat wave.
Yeah, it will. as long as the wind's not blowing, and then you have a feels like 5 degrees, whatever.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
No frozen pipes yet this year. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. All right, moving on. And now it's time for the main event and our favorite game, World Builders Roulette. Each week we place the fate of your worlds, well, the fate of our worlds, in the hands of the D20, letting it choose from our list of wild, speculative, and magical scenarios. What will this week's roll transform our worlds into? What will the dice inspire? All right, let's see where they lead us. You ready?
I am ready.
You got your dice.
Got them. All right. Number 15. What if time moved backward in certain regions of your world, causing age regression or forgotten futures?
What if time moved backwards in certain regions? Boy, that's complicated.
Mm-hmm. Benjamin Button.
So, what if time moved backwards in certain regions of your world? Does that mean that if somebody steps into that region, every the time all around the world changes, or is it only in that region that time changes?
I'd say region.
But
Specific
it's
specific places, specific regions.
they cause somebody to age, regress,
Mm-hmm.
and forget what they have done, which would have been in the future. Interesting. So, would that be a healing place then, or a place of torture?
Well, and here's the question too. If you go into one of these areas and your age regresses and say, your arthritis does go away or whatever, as soon as you leave, does it revert?
Right. That's what I'm
So
saying.
it,
So it's right. Is it a place of healing or is it a place of torture?
both.
And how far could it take you back? I mean, is it the longer you stay there, do you keep regressing backwards, or do you just step in and it regresses for some undetermined amount? So the longer you stay there, if you stay there forever, do you go back to being an embryo?
Well, I think there would be a point where you can no longer sustain yourself and would just die. Because humans come out half baked. They can't take care of themselves. They can't walk around. They can't find food.
No. So what if time moved backwards in certain regions of your world, causing age regression?
I might have to use this in book 3 now. I like this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book 3 for Ketron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thought on this. If you say there are specific places, specific regions that have old magic or something like that that's lingering around that causes this, or maybe it's like an alternate dimension or something like that, and it causes age regression, as we mentioned, it makes you get younger and you forget what you've done or what you were doing when you got there or whatever. What if you don't notice it at first? And the
Hmm.
longer you stay there, the faster it moves. So you
So
literally have a clock on how long you can stay there before you don't remember why you're there in the first place and don't realize that you have to leave.
okay, so if you walk into this place, when you walk out, do you go back to the time you walked in at, or do you walk out at the regress time?
That was my initial question.
Yeah.
So if you walk out, I don't know. Because part of me goes, okay, let's play this a little bit horror. And you walk out, and everything that was undone is instantly redone to the point of being excruciatingly painful. Or, if you grow 6 inches in half a second, something's not going to work right. Something's got to give.
So there's a couple ways this could happen. Someone could
Mm-hmm.
walk in, they age regress, and when they come out at the same, where they come out that time in that world hasn't changed. So,
Right.
or they walk in, they age regress, and they walk out of that world at that same point in time. So they're 6 years old, so now they walk out in the world when they're 6 years old, and now they've forgotten everything that happened between 6 years old and 20 when they went in.
Mm-hmm.
Or they walk out at 66 years old, their 6 year old body, um, but uh, but they have their 20-year-old memories. There's so many ways to play with this. So
Yeah.
here's an interesting thing. Have you seen the TV show called Doc? It's new.
No.
So spoilers to anybody that doesn't want to know, but um, it's a doctor, and she's like director of medical, or she's a director of all the doctors, whatever, and she's pretty much a bitch. And I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. She's extremely not nice and intense.
Very
Okay.
abrasive.
Yes, and very dogged. Okay. or,
Mm-hmm.
or dogmatic, I should say. She's very dogmatic. um Not very nice. And uh she has an accident, and she lost the memories from the last 6 years.
Okay.
And she's now a nice person.
Hmm.
And she doesn't understand, and she's trying to figure out why certain people don't like her. She's trying to figure out why her marriage failed.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to figure out why people walk on, eggshells around her. And it's so interesting because the person she was 6 years ago is a different person than 6 years later.
Yeah.
So if we think about this age regression thing, if I take away your last 6 years or last 5 years or last 10 years of who you were then and put you in the situation that you are in today, how different would you react in that situation? And would that be torture, or would that be healing? Would that be a good thing? It's a very powerful show in that way.
Yeah. That's sounds interesting.
Hmm. So she got into a car accident and basically has this amnesia, but
Huh.
it'd be kind of the same thing. But we're talking about with this walking
If you
into this
wanted to
region
make
of the
that a
world.
comedy, have those 6 years be her med school and residency.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Um, I don't entirely know why, but what you were saying there has reminded me of an old, well, not old, but older show from I think it was the late '90s called Early Edition, and I'm not entirely sure why that came up, but um, yeah, it kind of plays with the whole time travel thing in a weird way.
It
Did you ever
does.
see that one?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's this guy in Chicago. I think it was Chicago, and I don't remember the why or the Wither twos or the How fours or any of that because I haven't seen it in years. But I remember watching it when it was new back in the day. And this guy starts getting tomorrow's newspaper.
Oh, I
He
remember
gets the
this.
newspaper a day early, and then is constantly running around trying to save people and change the headlines and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. It has basically no bearing on this, but yeah, that was a good show.
So this question: what if time moved backwards to certain regions of your world? I could fit this in somewhere. Not this story, not the next two or three stories, but I think I could fit it in. I would like to find an interesting way for it to be used. I mean, I could definitely see it being used for people with dementia or something. Maybe, I don't know, because if your age regresses, does it actually fix all the problems, the health problems?
Well, I would assume that with the age regression would be a physical regression, or is it only a mental regression? Like,
Well, even if it's a physical regression for the human, that doesn't mean the cancer cells regress
yeah,
necessarily.
not
Um,
necessarily.
yeah, because the cancer is a different creature, a different entity or being or grow. You know what I mean? It's a different all the bacteria inside your body. Okay, now I'm getting really down to the nitty gritty,
Getting in the
but
weeds.
yes, I'm just this is just really. I'd have to think long and hard about how this would affect my world in things like how the rest of the world treat it. Would it be banned? You can't go there, or would it be kept secret? Like um, Area 51. You know, would everyone go there every couple of years?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's
Would
definitely
it
thought
end up
provoking.
as kind of a fountain of youth?
I can tell you what. If my dog gets really really old, I'm throwing him in on a leash. Throw him in and pull him back out.
Fish him back out in
Hmm.
however long. Oh, that's funny. Well, that was fun. Are you a world builder crafting your first universe or a seasoned creator with realms under your belt? Whether you be a D&D game master, writer, author, or simply a storyteller, we would love for all the worldsmiths to join us on the What If South is Up podcast. Head to whatifsouthisup.com or reach out on our Facebook page to send us your pitch. We would be honored to make your world the star of an episode or maybe a dozen.
We'd love your help too. Our what if list is always open for new imaginative scenarios. If you've got a unique twist or a world shaking idea, send it our way and we'll give you full credit. After all, who doesn't love a free plug for their made up world? Am I right? Visit our Facebook page or drop us a line on drop us a line at whysouthistup at gmail.com. We can't wait to see what you can dream up.
So, Xtina, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Uniquelyxtina.com. And right now, I'm just basically on Facebook reluctantly and TikTok scarily.
Yeah, it's a little up in the air, isn't it?
It's changed. So
Yeah, it feels a little different.
it feels a little different. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't messed with it much since the 14-hour ban, but yeah. My
Feels a little bit
website,
different.
I can imagine it does. A lot of people bailed.
Yeah, but the amount of content I'm not getting is,
Mm,
and the stuff they're trying to push me. Anyways, where can folks find you?
my website is derekHallAuthor.com, but you can also find me as dhallauthor just about anywhere except for TikTok. I'm there, but I'm not there.
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun.
I'm
Thanks,
glad we did
everybody.
it.
Come back and join us next time on What If South is Up.
Can't wait to see ya or hear ya or think you're there.
We're
Thanks.
just assuming at this point.
We're just assuming people are listening.
We're just beaming this into space for the aliens. That's
The aliens. Come on, aliens. Take me away.
help us out, man.